So there is a lot of skepticism when it comes to hiring a business coach. And I think the reason for that, especially if you're already a successful business owner, is that you come and talk to someone who promises you that they can help you solve the problem, but they don't go into a great amount of detail as to how. And in the back of your mind, you're always wondering, well, can this person really help me? Or are they just coming in and selling me a bill of goods so they can separate me from my money? And so I want to take a few minutes, if you are considering hiring somebody, and talk with you a little bit about our process, how we work with clients to get results. Typically, when someone goes to hire a business coach, regardless of where they're at, what stage of growth they're in, they're coming because there's this sense of overwhelm. If you're new and you're running a business and it's a young business, it's probably overwhelmed in the sense of all the things that you have to learn and all the things that you have to execute on every single day, especially if you haven't hired employees yet or something like that. If you're got a little bit more of a mature business, what we consider an adolescent business, the overwhelm tends to come from not being able to control this machine that you built. And you end up feeling like you're going out and putting out fires all day long instead, and going from one emergency to another one, and it's stagnating the growth, and you don't know how to get out of that. You've hired people, but for whatever reason, it's not working. And if either of those are you, if you're feeling either of those, I think this is going to be valuable for you. And so given the fact that almost everybody we work with comes to us feeling very overwhelmed, the very first thing that we do is try and simplify in the minds of the business owner what it is that they're doing and what they need to be focused on. So we deal in this concept of core ideas, core problems, and core systems to solve those problems. So if you are running a business, you're typically only going to encounter two core problems in the business. The first one is a sales problem. And we define that as anything leading up to the point of sale, so that when they actually purchase. So your business may not be growing, or you may be struggling because the product isn't right. So you've got a product development problem that is existing inside of this sort of sales solution. Or it could be that you're having a marketing problem. So you've got a great product, but you can't get anybody to pay attention to you, and so you can't sell them on the product. You don't have people to sell. And then you also have sales problems where, hey, you got people coming in, you got a great product, but for whatever reason, your sales message, the way that you're selling the customer isn't effective. And so the other side of that is fulfillment problems. And that has to do with everything after the fact. So is the shipping done, and is the packaging correct, and what's quality control of the product that's come off the line? How are you handling support problems? How do you handle inter-office issues and HR things? Everything dealing with how do we fulfill on the promise that we've made in our advertising and to the people who purchased from us. So if you can think for a minute, like which one of those are you really struggling with? And I would imagine for most of the people who watch this video, they're saying, well, I got a little bit of problem on both sides, especially if you have more of an older company. And that's okay, but pick the one that you really are struggling with the most. What's the one causing you the most amount of pain? And then let's move into that problem area and start working through some systems to fix it. And the way we do this is through four core systems in the business. And you can have dozens of systems in a business, but you need 4 core systems. Now, the first one is a system for attracting leads or bringing in leads to the company. That's a marketing system. And after that, if the lead comes in, you need a system to take them from, hey, I'm interested in what you've got, to I'm sold on the product. So you need a sales system. The third system you need is a system for running the operation and managing all of the moving pieces. That's your operations system. And then the last one is an accounting system, a way for you to keep track of what's outstanding, what's come in, where are the expenses going, and why are we, in many cases, making all of this money but keeping so little of it. And so that's what we do as a consulting company. When I come in to work with you on your business, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to figure out, do we have a marketing problem, do we have a sales problem, or do we have a fulfillment problem? And if we have both, which one do we need to address first? And then we're going to work with you and your team to develop a plan to solve that problem. And we're going to do that by implementing one of the 4 core systems into the business wherever the business is broken. We're going to work with your team so to get them on board with what we're doing so that they can be effective at bringing your vision as the business owner to life. And so I only bring that up and share that with you because I feel like there's not enough done by guys like me in this industry to help you understand what is the value of having someone like me, like another coach on our team, come in and work with your company. It's not that we know more than you do in many cases. It's that we know we're asking questions and we're taking a step back outside of the business that oftentimes you haven't had the opportunity to do. See, often we work so closely in our business that we can't see what's broken, and we can't come up for air long enough to take a step back and look at the business objectively. And we need somebody to come in and help us kind of see through that. It's also really helpful to have somebody else who's also a successful business owner come in and help you manage pieces of the business for a short period of time while you get a handle on things. You know, anybody can hire an employee, but unless you've run a business, especially a multi-million-dollar business, you don't really understand everything that goes involved with that. And you don't understand the stresses, and you don't understand what's required in order to break through that ceiling that you're at and get back on a growth trajectory. And so I just hope that helps you kind of understand a little bit about our process and some of the value that we bring to the table. And by all means, please steal everything I've just given you and take a look at what sort of problem are we having, and then what sort of system do we need to build out in order to solve that problem and put those command and control checks and balances in place. And if you'd like some help with it, just let us know. I'd be happy to talk to you and schedule a time if you want that. But I just hope that this kind of gives you a little bit of clarity and helps you understand better how to look at your business and simplify what you're doing so that it's easier for you to find the solution to the problem you're facing.